presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. After 2 weeks on the disabled list, the Tigers get one of their big bats back in the lineup tonight. Victor Martinez will bat fifth in the Tigers lineup behind Miguel Cabrera. Victor and the rest of the Tigers trying to make it 2 straight against the New York Yankees. Welcome to Comerica Park. Great night for baseball here. Game 3 in this series featuring the Yankees and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us. Game 3 in the series. Rod Allen will join us in a moment. You know, the Yankees remain a formidable team offensively, yet their pitching has been in a state of flux. Of course, they have Phil Hughes on the disabled list, and we see some old familiar names in their rotation, including Bartolo Colon on Monday. And tonight, another name that we are used to seeing, Freddie Garcia, will get the call for the New York Yankees, and the Tigers know all about Freddie Garcia. A lifetime record of 18-7 against the Tigers, and a lifetime ERA as well of 3.84. He has been a tough customer over the years for the Tigers to defeat. They'll take another crack at Freddie Garcia tonight. We're glad to have you with us. Game 3 in this series coming up. Victor Martinez is back, so what does that mean for the Tigers lineup? And more specifically, what does it mean for Brennan Bosch and Maglio Ordonez? The Tigers have shuffled the lineup a little bit with Martinez back. We'll tell you more about that. Tigers and Yanks, Game 3 in the series, coming up next. Back here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit as we get you ready for baseball tonight on a gorgeous evening for baseball. The Tigers and Yankees playing under 57-degree weather and clear skies here this evening. The Tigers trying to make it 2 straight against the New York Yankees, and the weatherman has certainly cooperated for this one here tonight. Check out the starting lineup for the Yankees, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Derek Jeter leading it off. He'll play shortstop, followed by Curtis Granderson in center field. Mark Teixeira is at first base. Alex Rodriguez cleaning up, then Robinson Cano at second base. Swisher is in right. Posada, Gardner, and Francisco Cervelli, your bottom 3 here this evening for the New York Yankees. Here is the scouting report on Max Scherzer, presented tonight by Ace Hardware.
Tigers baseball, you know by now that Max has an explosive fastball. He also told me the other day he's kind of slowed his breaking ball down a little bit, and he believes that slider is much improved. And he's been awfully good here at Comerica Park in his career. In 19 starts, he is 10-4 with a sub-3 earned run average.
So Scherzer will get the baseball tonight, facing a very tough Yankees lineup. And we remind you, if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you'll get yourself a free small order of curly fries. You can find the box score at foxsportsdetroit.com. So Derek Jeter steps in to lead it off for the Yankees. Max Scherzer is on the hill, and we are ready for baseball tonight. Jeter, Granderson, and Teixeira facing the Tigers right-hander. On one of the more pleasant evenings weather-wise we've had here in quite a while, and that's part of the good news tonight. First pitch of the ball game from Scherzer is fouled back. 0-1 on Derek Jeter. Jeter in the series 3 for 9. And, of course, chasing 3,000 hits this year. He has 2,952. Scherzer trying to improve his record. He comes in tonight at 4-0. The 0-1 pitch. That's fouled straight back. 0-2 on Jeter. Jeter batting .250. Not very much extra base power this year. He hasn't homered. And he has a couple of doubles. The rest are singles for Jeter. Scherzer ready with the 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Yankees leadoff man. The Yankees come in at 17-10. The Tigers at 13-17 coming into play this evening. And the 1-2 pitch. Right back up the middle into center field. Derek Jeter has his 4th hit of the series, a leadoff single. There is the Tigers defense, brought to you by Beaumont. The Tigers in the outfield have Ordonez, Jackson, and Bosch. On the infield, Inge and Cabrera at the corners. Peralta, Sizemore up the middle, and there's your battery, Scherzer and Alex Avila. Leadoff man is on. That'll bring up Curtis Granderson. Granderson at .260, and they have pretty much handled him this year. He skies this one in the air to center field. Austin Jackson staring into the sunlight, now into the shade, and Granderson is retired. 1 gone. Jeter back to first base. And that'll bring up Mark Teixeira. Granderson now is 0 for 8 in the series. Teixeira batting .261. And he has really gotten healthy offensively against the Tigers. 8 home runs this year. He has hit 1 in this series. And the first pitch is in for a strike. Teixeira with 18 RBIs, coming off a very poor April last year. In fact, Teixeira, I guess his track record was he never really got off to a good start. Last year was no different, but this year, much different. In fact, last year Teixeira hit a .136 in the month of April. This season, power numbers were up, RBI numbers were up. His numbers a year ago today, he was hitting .181. Scherzer quickly ahead in the count. And the 0-2. Just off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Teixeira working on a 6-game hitting streak. The Yankees have 1 on, 1 out here in the first. We apologize. Rod Allen's microphone is not in operation at this point. We're working feverishly to get it working. There's a ball outside. 2-2 now the count. And Mark Teixeira. In the meantime, you're stuck with me and only me. A little bit of a breeze blowing out tonight, blowing toward right field. We'll see if that becomes an issue this evening. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup away, and down goes Teixeira.
It's a really nice pitch there by Teixeira. By Scherzer. Appeared to be a changeup fading down and away from Mark. Unhittable pitch there.
So with 2 outs, here is Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod 2 out of 9 in the series, and he has been struggling in recent weeks relative to his normal production. He has 5 home runs this year, and the average at 268. They want the appeal, and he did not go. Down at first base, Tim Cheetah said he held up. 1-0 on A-Rod. Alex last year knocked in 125, and that was second in the American League, only to Miguel Cabrera, who led the league with 126 driven in. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike on Alex Rodriguez. Here is Scherzer's 1-1. 2-1. Max this year is 2-0 at home with an ERA of 1.35. This has always been known as a pitcher's ballpark, and Scherzer has certainly taken advantage of that. In fact, Scherzer's home ERA is 5th best of all pitchers in the American League. Now the 2-1. Popped up, and this will head back into the seats. 2-2 on the powerful Alex Rodriguez. Leadoff single by Jeter. He is still at first base with 2 outs. In fact, there are these splits on Scherzer. The road ERA much higher at 6.62. Max has yet to suffer a defeat this year. And the 2-2 pitch. He got him, strike 3. Scherzer catches him looking for his 2nd consecutive strikeout. And that's all for the Yankees. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. the series. Tigers starting lineup is presented by Big Boy. Austin Jackson leads it off. He is in center field. Scott Sizemore is at second base. Then Brennan Bosch in left tonight, batting third. Cabrera, the first baseman. Victor Martinez back in the lineup. Ordonez batting sixth, and Peralta, Avila, and Inge, your bottom three. Freddie Garcia towing the slab tonight for the New York Yankees. This will be his fifth appearance, his fourth start. Garcia looking for his second win of the year. Opponents hitting just $185 against Freddie. And the first pitch is inside to Austin Jackson. Jackson, Sizemore, and Bosch. Austin had a nice night last night. He pops this one in the air to right field. Swisher is backing up, and one gone. So that's all for Jackson. We'll check out the defensive alignment now for the New York Yankees. And that is presented by our friends at Tim Hortons. Gardner, Granderson, Swisher in the outfield. A-Rod and Teixeira at the corners. Jeter and Cano up the middle. And your battery tonight for the Yankees, Francisco Cervelli is catching for Freddie Garcia. Here is Scott Sizemore. Things the Tigers were able to do very effectively last night is get it going from the top of the lineup. Sizemore, as you know, chipped in with 3 hits and 2 from Jackson. So the Tigers top 2, setting the table nicely. In fact, Maglio had a couple of hits batting in the 3 slot as well last night. Sizemore also has an RBI, and he checks his swing. They want the appeal. Didn't go around. 2-1. Garcia's 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike. 2-2 on Scott Sizemore. What a season it was for Sizemore. After the disappointment of not making the team out of spring training, he went down to Toledo and absolutely tore it up. Bouncing ball to the shortstop. Jeter on the charge. 2 up, 2 down. Derek Jeter with the off-balance throw. He's done that a ton in his career. One thing about Jeter, despite the fact that he has not performed offensively, still a very solid defensive shortstop. His skills and range may have diminished a little bit in that position, but still very solid. Here's Bosch now with 2 outs. Brennan batting in the 3 slot in this one.
Obviously, Maglio Ordonez has been struggling a bit in that 3 hole. Therefore, Brennan Bosch now hitting there for a couple different reasons. He can also run. He can beat out a double play ball.
And he can line one right back up the middle into center field. Slowed down by Garcia, but that is a solid single to center.
You would expect that Brennan Bosch will get a lot of pitches to hit, hitting in front of Miguel Cabrera, as he does right there. A little tailing fastball or something off speed from Freddie. And Freddie nonchalant reached out for and almost made the play.
So Bosch is on. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. And Cabrera enjoying a 5-game hitting streak. Each team now with 1 hit. Cabby in the series 4 for 6, so he is not disappointed.
He is hitting .352.
And that is way up there in the American League, second in the AL. Garcia gets ahead 0-1.
Garcia and Cabrera, they're good buddies. They're both from Venezuela. As a matter of fact, they're best friends. But that doesn't mean he will not beat up on Freddie.
Huh. Well, you've got perhaps the best hitter coming out of Venezuela, and you've got Freddie Garcia, who has more wins than any other Venezuelan-born pitcher. 134 for Freddie. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 on Cabrera. 22 RBIs for Miguel. He is among the league leaders in many different offensive categories this year, as you would expect at this point in the month of May. And the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Cabrera.
Well, you see what Miguel Cabrera has done in his career against Yankee pitching. Almost a 400 batting average, 10 home runs, 25 driven in 28 games. And they usually have some of the best pitching in baseball.
Yeah, that's the other point that you think about. Those numbers coming against an outstanding staff typically year after year. And it seems like we put up those numbers against every opponent that we face, and he's always well over 300 against, well, pick your opponent. It doesn't seem to matter.
That's right.
2-2. And he got him. Strike three. Garcia threads the needle. Cabrera disagrees, but it doesn't matter. First strikeout of the game for Freddie Garcia. Tigers stranded 2-out runner. We go to the second. Scoreless game as we go to the top of the second inning. No runs on one hit for both teams on a glorious night here in the Motor City as we bring you the Tigers and the Yankees in game 3 of this 4-game set. Check out that scouting report again on Max Scherzer, presented by Ace Hardware.
Well, Max has an explosive fastball anywhere from 92 to 97 miles an hour. A much improved slider. He said he's not throwing his slider as hard as he was last year, therefore a little bigger, much more bite on it. And great numbers at home here at Comerica Park for Max. 10-4 in his career with a sub-3 earned run average.
Scherzer here in the second inning, facing Robinson Cano. It'll be Cano, Swisher, and Posada. Each team with a base hit, but failing to score in that first inning. And Cano fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Scherzer has a pretty good changeup today. He struck Teixeira out with a changeup and A-Rod as well, and that was a pretty good one there to Robinson Cano.
Cano was hitless in last night's ball game. Did not play in the first game, nursing a sore hand, a bruised hand. And you wonder, with his 0 for 4 last night, if it was bothering him a bit or if it still is. But he's back in there. 308 batting average for Cano. Here's the 2-1. Whistled foul back into the seats. 2-2 on Cano.
One of the reasons why Cano was a little tardy on that 2-1 fastball is the fact that Scherzer's already thrown quite a few changeups in this game, and he may have been thinking about the changeup in the back of his mind because he's usually not late on fastballs.
Max struck out Teixeira and A-Rod to end the first. And he gets Cano here to start the second. Third strikeout in a row now for Scherzer.
That's a good call by Avila. The fact that he was tardy on the 2-1 fastball, Avila thought to himself he might be sitting on something soft, so they came right back with another fastball in the low 90s to punch him out.
That'll bring up Nick Swisher.
That's one thing about this Yankees team. You have to continue to change your pitch patterns during the course of the entire game. They have so many good hitters in their lineup, and if you get into a pattern, they will pick it up and they will sit on a particular pitch.
Swisher did not play or did not start in last night's game. He takes ball one inside. The other thing about this lineup, Rod, is that they have 3 switch hitters in this lineup, which really presents matchup problems for the opposing manager.
With power. 3 switch hitters with power.
The 1-0 is swung on and missed.
A lot of times your table setters are switch hitters, guys that can run, the guys that wreak a lot of havoc on the base pass, but their guys can find the seats.
And their guys are Teixeira, Swisher, and Posada. There are 3 switch hitters in the lineup. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 on Nick Swisher. Played on Monday night, delivered a key blow, the game-winning hit in the 9th inning. Finished 2 for 4 in that game. Make it 2-2.
Even though that changeup was up in the strike zone, you can get away with it in a fastball count. That's a pretty good pitch to hit. But when you're sitting on a fastball, as Swisher was there, you're not going to hit that ball as hard as you'd like, or you're not even going to make contact.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Scherzer is on a roll right now.
Maxwell brought his A game today. 3 strikeouts on changeups today for Max.
So he falls behind on the last 3 hitters, but he has struck them all out. Scherzer with 4 straight starts of 7 strikeouts, and he's well on his way to reaching that total and beyond here tonight.
He is looking like here tonight early on like he did when he made a start coming back from the minors last year when he struck out 14 Oakland Athletics.
Posada looks at ball 1. That was an extremely dominating performance. And Scherzer coming right back from the minors, getting right back in the saddle, and really since that time has not slowed down. He's pitched well this year. The 1-0. 2-0 on Posada. Jorge batting just 167, has a couple of RBIs in this series. 4 for 9 overall. The 2-0 pitch popped in the air, shallow left field. Inge going back, and he'll run it down on the grass, and an easy 1-2-3. 1.5 in the books here at Comerica. No score. this one. We check out the Bernstein advantage. It brings you the scouting report on Freddie Garcia. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, Freddie Garcia no longer throws 95 miles an hour as he did when he was a youngster, but he's very crafty out there. He has 5 different pitches. We'll get into that in a moment. And he has a lot of history against the Detroit Tigers, making his 33rd start against them.
Wow, that is a lot of starts. And he's had a lot of success as Victor Martinez steps in.
He has a fastball. He'll cut it, sink it, he'll run it. He has a curve. He has a slider. He has a changeup, and he also throws a split-fingered fastball. So Freddie Garcia has 5 different pitches.
Martinez, after a couple of game rehab stint with Toledo in Pawtucket, is back in the starting lineup. And 71 games against the Yankees. Pretty good numbers for Victor.
Kind of gives you an idea of just how good he has been in his career to beat up on Yankee pitching like that. Switch hitter with power. Real good swing.
Leland saying before the game today, one of the best things about getting Victor back is the fact that he doesn't have to answer questions on who's batting behind Cabrera. We all know now.
He doesn't like to talk about his lineup. He does not like to talk about his lineup.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.
As a matter of fact, he asked all of us today to make out a lineup and sign it and put it on his desk. Are you going to take him up on that?
I might do it.
You think you might do it?
But you know what? My lineup would not have been much different than his tonight. I think he's gone about it in an excellent way. Bosch hitting third. You got Victor behind Cabrera. Mag's down in the lineup a little bit till he gets it going. How about you? You going to sign one?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't have much issues with what he's doing here.
Well, Martinez, we know this, is a valuable component to this lineup. And the Tigers kind of treading water without him in there, but they hope now to take off offensively with Martinez back in there. It will make it a little bit more difficult to walk Cabrera intentionally, and Leland still feels that they will do it regardless. Maybe not as much. 3-2 is hammered back up the middle into center. Victor comes back with a base hit.
You saw the split-fingered grip initially in the glove of Garcia, and then he changed it to a changeup, but he left it up. And even though the body of Martinez was out in front, his hands stayed back, and that allowed him to get some pretty good bat speed through the hitting zone.
Second hit of the game for the Tigers. Here comes Ordonez. Maglio had a couple of hits in last night's ball game. And he lines him into right field, a base hit. Martinez hits the bag at second. He's coming to third. Swisher's throw is cut off, and the Tigers have something going.
It's a patented Maglio Ordonez swing. It's a fastball down and away, whistled the opposite way. And Victor Martinez, not known for his speed, but he didn't need much help from Gene Lamont, the third base coach, to tell him to come over to third base.
A scoring opportunity now after the back-to-back singles by Martinez and Ordonez.
I was asking Lloyd McClendon what the approach would be against Garcia today, who has been tough against Tigers hitters in his career. He said they simply have to get the ball up. They have to force Freddie into getting the ball up and make him get in the strike zone. So far, they've done that.
And Peralta hitting .258 stands in. Johnny in the series 1 for 8. It is usually the Yankees that are doing the majority of the scoring in the first 2 innings. We've given you the numbers. They've outscored their opponents 52-19 in the first 2 frames, but Max Scherzer has had other ideas tonight.
They jumped on CC Sabathia early in last night's game as well, did the Tigers, for a couple of runs.
Meanwhile, 2-0 on Peralta. And he drives one to center on the line. Granderson plays it on one hop. That'll get a run in. 3 consecutive singles for the Tigers, and it's 1-0. 12th RBI of the year for Peralta.
It makes a big difference when you get yourself in a hitter-friendly count, 2 balls and no strikes, and a guy doesn't have an overpowering fastball. It's a really good swing by Victor. Excuse me, by Johnny. Victor touching home plate.
12 RBIs. Peralta makes it 1-0. 3 straight hits against Garcia. Still nobody out. And here is Alex Avila. Avila has provided a lot of offensive punch at the bottom of the Tigers lineup. He's batting 8th again here tonight. And he waves and misses 0-1.
When Jim decided to put Bosch in that number 3 spot, I'm sure that he probably thought about possibly putting Avila in that 3 hole with the numbers he's put up this year. 5 home runs, 21 driven in. But he doesn't run as well as Bosch, and you like to have speed at the top of your batting order. And the point you brought up, he just doesn't want to mess with Avila. He likes him down there in that number 8 spot right now.
There's something to be said about the punch he gives to the bottom of the lineup. He's in a nice little groove right now. Fouls that one off 0-2.
He played long ball here a couple of times against Bartolo Colon on Monday. Both against the traffic, the opposite way. That one into the Yankee bullpen, and then one into the Tigers bullpen.
Oh, 2. 2 ducks on the pond, as they say, Ordonez and Peralta.
One of the things that Freddie has been really good at this year is limiting damage done against him with runners in scoring position.
Swing and a miss, and Avila goes down. The first out of the inning. A second strikeout now for Mr. Garcia. Swing up Brandon Inge. 1 for 6 in the series for Brandon. Garcia, 34 years old now. He's a native of Caracas, Venezuela. Pitched briefly with the Tigers after coming back from a shoulder issue. The Tigers took a chance on him late in a season a couple of years ago. Made just 3 starts in the 08 season for Detroit. It really didn't look all that bad, but the Tigers decided not to bring him back. 1 strike on Brandon Inge. You know this, Freddie's had a lot of big seasons with several different clubs, including Seattle, the White Sox. Inge takes outside. 1-1.
Talking about Freddie and his stinginess with runners on base. A 115 batting average against him. A hitter's not doing all that well with the bases empty either against Freddie. Just 231. He appears to me, Mario, to be the kind of guy that can handle the pressure of pitching in New York.
Oh, no doubt. I think you're absolutely right. That's in the air. Shallow left field. Gardner coming on. So is Granderson. And Granderson will handle it. The runners have to hold.
Center fielder is the captain in the outfield. Even though Gardner was there camped underneath that baseball, Granderson can call you off. And if you're one of the corner guys, you simply have to get out of the way. And in case you're wondering, the shortstop is the captain in the infield that has the authority to call anyone off of a pop-up if he wants it.
That'll bring up Austin Jackson now. Tigers in search of a 2-out hit to extend the lead. Already they've out-hit the Yankees 4-1. 1-1 on Austin, who flied to right field his first time up.
Told you that Freddie has 5 pitches and really can throw all 5 pitches in any count and has confidence in throwing them for strikes. Most guys have 2 good pitches, maybe 3. He's got 5.
What does that do to you as a hitter?
Well, you have to go up there and kind of slice the plate in half. When you go up against a guy like Freddie, you know he's not going to give you a lot to hit. So you go up there the entire night and either you look inside or you look outside. And if you get the pitch you're looking for, don't miss it. You can't try to take the entire plate against a guy like this.
Jackson takes low. 2-1 on Austin. Double, triple, and an RBI in last night's game. Leland said before last night's game, Jackson took the best round of BP he had taken all season long, and then he was running around like a madman during the game with his double and his triple.
He had a good game.
Bouncing ball slowly towards short. Jeter will flip to second for the force, and the side retired. Tigers can run to take the lead. And you're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Detroit, the Tigers with a 1-0 lead over the Yankees as we go to the top of the third here tonight at the ballpark. Sun beginning to set on a gorgeous evening.
This is one of the nicer days we've had for baseball this year.
It's certainly a lot warmer than it was last night, where we were in the lower 40s. But a beautiful evening tonight as Brett Gardner leads it off for the Yankees. Scherzer starts him off with a strike.
Good crowd on hand as well.
Very nice.
Gardner starting to heat up a little bit. Batting average still at 219, but he must have been in the 100s because he is starting to get on base.
Well, he's done that with regularity in his last 12 plate appearances. He has walked 7 times.
Takes a lot of pitches. Not afraid to do that.
Tough guy to throw out, too, when he's stealing bases. He has been very good. Scherzer is ahead in the count, 0-2. And he slaps one foul back out of play.
Scherzer throwing awfully hard here tonight. 97 with that last fastball to Gardner.
Verlander the other night was throwing upper 90s as well. And into the 100s. Max is 0-2. 1-2 on Gardner. He'll be followed by Cervelli, and then the top of the order, Derek Jeter. One more here against the Yanks tomorrow. Then it's on to Toronto as the Tigers start their next road trip. There's Cervelli on deck. Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Scherzer thought he had strike 3 right there, but Bill Welke, who was the home plate umpire here tonight, did not think so.
You think that guys that take a lot of pitches and have developed a good hitting eye tend to get the benefit of the doubt every now and then?
I think the veteran guys do. I don't know if Gardner has that kind of status yet, but it's a good point. If he continues to have as much patience and he stays in the big leagues a long, long time, I'm thinking that at some point in time he'll get the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he does on occasion.
Absolutely. That's in the air. Third base side. And Avila makes the play.
In case you're just joining us, and you probably have little reason to channel surf here tonight, Scherzer has 4 strikeouts. He has a real good changeup. The first 2 came on the changeup. Then he struck Cano out with a fastball, and then he had another strikeout of Swisher with the changeup. So he has brought his A game today.
Max has surrendered just 1 hit. That was the leadoff single to Derek Jeter to start the game. And that is it so far as Francisco Cervelli stands in. Cervelli starting behind the plate tonight. They have gone with Russell Martin in the first 2 games. Cervelli has had only 2 at-bats this year because he started the season on the disabled list. He fractured his foot in spring training. In fact, it was right at the start of spring training. And he did so by fouling a pitch off his foot, which begs the question how it doesn't happen more often. I'll never know, because we see guys on a nightly basis just bang foul balls off their feet.
Yep. Cervelli's always been known as a very good defensive catcher in the Yankees organization.
Cues that one right to the first baseman. Max will cover. Cabrera to Scherzer. 2 gone. So Max continues to cruise along. Now back up to the top of the order. Derek Jeter. Scherzer's last start was a bit of a rocky one. In fact, he was pitching pretty well against Cleveland until late in that game. He ended up giving up 5 runs, and he pitched into the 7th inning.
He was cruising.
Had 7 strikeouts, was able to sidestep a few walks. He ended up walking 5 in that game, though. Jeter takes strike 1.
How about Francisco Liriano of the Minnesota Twins throwing a no-hitter last night against the White Sox, walking 6 batters.
You know, they said his spot in the rotation was in jeopardy. His ERA was north of 9, and he goes out and throws a no-hitter. 0-2.
I think I read something where it said that Liriano in that earned run average over 9 was the highest earned run average of any pitcher going into a game and then throwing a no-hitter.
Is that right?
Yes.
I believe it. And here are the final numbers. 6 walks and only 2 strikeouts. That's one of the oddest no-hitter lines you will see. Swing and a miss. Jeter goes down, and Scherzer picks up another strikeout, his 5th of the ball game already. A 1-2-3 third. Scherzer and the Tigers continue to lead this one.
Sweet 16 come celebrate with all his mascot friends this Thursday when the Tigers take on the Yankees at 105. 866-66-TIGER, or log on to tigers.com if you want to go to the party.
Think Paul's getting a new suit for the party right now?
I think so.
That's in the center field where Granderson is camped, and 1 pitch and Sizemore's out.
We got some invitations.
Yes, we did. Paul just marched in yesterday.
Yeah, like he owned the place.
Look at you. It took you by surprise.
Then he just tore it up. Look at it, just tore it open.
Yeah, Paul's is out getting a new suit. Oh, no, there he is. Thought he'd be out getting his hair did at this point. Look at Paws. And many of his friend mascots will be at the ballpark tomorrow, so it'll be fun. Paul's working hard tonight, though. It's not his birthday yet. Here's Brendan Bosch. He looks at ball 1. Bosch had a single back in the first.
Brendan got the night off last night against CC Sabathia and said it felt great to get a night off. He had been playing every single day. And even though he's young and has a lot of energy, it's good to get a little breather every now and then, recharge the batteries.
I don't think I'd mind a breather against CC either. There are certain guys in the league that maybe you don't fight as hard when you're told you're getting a night off. Although the Tigers got to Sabathia last night.
And Brendan, in his short, brief career, has really had no problem with left-handed pitching.
He rifles another one. This one is into right field. That's his second hit tonight.
He has hit 2 balls right on the screws tonight. This one whistled right past to Sheriff. Boy, your swing doesn't get much better than that from the left side. Real good balance.
So Leland's hunch has paid off so far. 2 for 2 for Bosch out of the 3 slot. Now Cabrera stands in.
The one thing that Bosch probably won't be doing a lot of if he's batting third in front of Cabrera is stealing bases.
Good point.
Brennan has the ability to steal a base, but that pretty much is taken out of play with the big fella standing in that batter's box. But then again, you have Victor behind him, so if they do decide to walk Cabrera, that's why Victor's here, to drive in some of those runs.
And the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
That last breaking ball, 69 miles an hour. That's under the speed limit. Excuse me, partner.
No, I'm just going to say, we're talking about with Martinez behind Cabrera, and Victor is an accomplished hitter. There's no question about that. But I still think when the chips are on the line and you've got to make a decision, I think that they still want Cabrera in many cases.
There is no doubt about that. They really need a higher league for this guy to play in, number 24. He's kind of mastered this one.
And the 1-1. He dots the outside corner for a strike. 1-2.
And there's only a few guys that you ever say that about.
Well, he's one of them. Cabrera has scored 24 runs, second in the American League.
And Fox Tracks is telling us that fastball was off the plate. And Freddie struck him out his first time up with a fastball that appeared to be borderline outside as well. So apparently Bill Welke's going to give Garcia that pitch tonight. Bill Welke got a chance to hang with his brother all last year, Tim Welke.
That's right.
They were on the same crew.
Michiganders. 2-2 on Cabrera.
That had to be cool, going to work every single night with your brother.
Unless they used to fight when they were kids.
Well, we all do that, but you kind of grow out of that and become good buddies when you get a little older.
They are split up this year. Welke with Foster, Nelson, and Sheeta this year. 2-2 on Cabrera. Bach draws the throw. Bosch with a 1-out single. Tigers now have 5 hits on the scoreboard. They got a run in the second on 3 consecutive singles. Peralta getting the RBI. ground ball foul right by Gene Lamont. 2-2 on Miguel. Last season, Freddie Garcia was 12-6 with the Chicago White Sox. I mean, it's here he is all of these years after he broke into the big leagues. He's 34 and he's still putting up double-digit wins. I mean, he's done that a lot in his career. He has been a workhorse as well when healthy. Has gone 200 innings in multiple seasons. That's pulled fair inside the bag at third. This will be extra bases. Bosch coming to third base. Let's see. They're going to try and score him. Jeter gets the relay and holds it up. It's a double. It's an RBI. And it's 2-0.
Looked like a fork ball that was down and in, and that was a seed right past A-Rod. And one of the things that Bosch does provide in that number 3 spot is he can run. He can score from first base on a ball that doesn't get all the way to the wall. Look at the big fella go.
And that may have been an example of what Leland was talking about. If that's Maglio at first base with his ankle not really 100%, he may not score on that play.
No. He doesn't score on that play.
Instead, you've got an RBI for Cabrera.
Yeah, he doesn't score on that play.
So here's Martinez. 2-0 in favor of Detroit, and they now have 6 hits. Ball outside, 1-0. Well, Victor started things off in the second with a base hit. And eventually scored on the hit by Peralta. Tigers scoring first again here tonight. They scored 2 in the first inning last night and never trailed in that game. Two 2-0 the count. Victor in his rehab was 2 for 4 with an RBI in 2 games with Toledo.
Victor's going to have to be awfully patient in this at bat with the base open and 1 out. And the right-handed batter Maglio on the on-deck circle. Freddie may, and I don't know for sure, he may feel like his best opportunity of getting out of this inning is by putting Martinez on first base.
Cervelli out to the mound. Well, if you put Martinez on, you have the ability of getting the ground ball from Ordonez, which could get you out of the inning. Maglio waiting on deck. He's singled back in the second. So he is showing signs of getting better and better. A couple of hits last night. Garcia ready with a 2-0. In the air, hit well, left field. Gardner going back, and he'll make the play. And Cabrera retreats. 2 gone. Now Ordonez. Ordonez started the second with a single. And eventually came around to score the first Tigers run. Pulled down the left field line. That ball is hit a long way, and that ball is gone. Ordonez with a home run to left, and it looks like he's back.
That's his first home run of the year.
First home run and just 3rd RBI of the season.
A couple of days ago, Lloyd McClendon came out very early with Maglio Ordonez, and they were taking some extra batting practice, and they were videotaping his swing, and apparently they figured out some things. That is a much better swing. He used his lower half on that swing, and that's something he hadn't been doing. He had been rotating from the waist up, therefore his swing was all arms, and he wasn't generating any power, but he used his legs on that one.
which would lead you to believe the Yankees feeling a lot better. And so Martinez and Ordonez hug. It's a 4-0 game. Tigers have 7 hits against Garcia. Here's Peralta. Boy, it's good to see him pull a ball like that and hit it that far.
Take one more look at this swing. You can draw an imaginary line right down the center of his body, from the bill of the cap right down through the waist to the feet. Picture perfect.
So Ordonez with his first home run since July 19th last year. Of course, he missed the second half of the injury.
I brought it up last night early in the game that Maglio said that he was going to be more aggressive in the game last night. He got a couple of hits, but he has continued that here tonight with his aggressiveness.
Good to see. Popped him up. Foul ground, third base side for A-Rod. Peralta is out, and the inning is over. But it's a good inning for the Tigers. Maglio Ordonez with a 3-run shot, 2-run shot, 3 runs in the inning, and the Tigers now lead 4-0. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. And the final results coming post-game during Tigers Live. You've got plenty of guys who could be up for that award tonight. Maglio, of course, with a 2-run shot. Good to see him smile.
Scherzer as well. 5 strikeouts in the game.
Lots to choose from tonight.
Who will eat that Big Mac tonight?
And Scherzer back to work now as he faces Granderson. It'll be Granderson, then Teixeira, and then A-Rod. 5 strikeouts for Max. He got Granderson to fly out his first at bat. And a strike call, 1-1. Curtis does not have a hit in the series. He has walked a couple of times, though. And Grandy this year showing much more power early in the season. He has 8 home runs. Last year he did not hit his 8th until July the 25th. So they've been coming in bunches early. He shortens the bunt, pops it up, third base side. Oh, Scherzer with a play right in front of Inge.
What an athlete.
Wow.
You don't usually use that term athlete when you're talking about a pitcher, but boy, did Scherzer get off the mound in a hurry to make this play in front of Brandon Inge. Take a look at Scherzer.
Inge did a great job of avoiding contact, too. Peel off right there. Scherzer, pretty good basketball player in high school as well.
That's a good idea by Curtis. You brought up the fact he has not gotten a hit in this series, so why not try to bunt for one? But he popped it up.
Mark Teixeira struck out in the first inning. 258 batting average. And the 0-1. Yeah. 1-1 pitch. On the outer edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Only 1 hit allowed tonight by Scherzer. They single by Jeter to start the game. Here's the 1-2, and it's fouled back.
Scherzer has such good secondary pitches tonight. The slider and the changeup that several of these Yankees hitters are tardy on the fastballs. And those are the pitches that they usually feast on.
Max is 1-2. 2-2 the count. Scherzer struck out 2 in the first, 2 more in the second, and 1 in the third. On deck, Alex Rodriguez. Stroke to left center. That's down. Maybe extra bases. Bosch goes over to cut it off. He'll fire it into second base. And in there with a double. Teixeira with a 1-out 2-base hit.
And 94-mile-per-hour fastball there from Scherzer. Just a real nice short quick swing by Teixeira. He allowed Scherzer to supply most of that power.
Second hit of the game for the Yankees. That'll bring up A-Rod now with 1 out. A strikeout victim himself back in the first. 4-0. Tigers in the lead in this one as we play in the fourth. He pops it up foul, back out of play. Alex Rodriguez right now has 618 career home runs. He needs 12 to catch the guy directly ahead of him, and that would be Ken Griffey Jr., who is 5th all time. A-Rod continues to climb the home run charts. Ball outside, 1-1. It's really been an amazing career for A-Rod, who did it really at the beginning at a very young age.
Hall of Fame numbers. Incredible talent.
3 MVPs. And the 1-1. In the air, shallow right. Maglio coming under it. And they'll get Alex Rodriguez. 2 gone. That will leave it up to Cano. He struck out to start the second. On the ground sharply to the shortstop. Peralta stays with it, and he throws wide, but he hung onto the bag. Cabrera with a nice play. Saving Peralta there. And the inning is over. No runs, a double. 1 man left. Stretch it, Cabrera. 4-0 is our score as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at the ballpark. Tigers 4 runs, 7 hits. Yankees no runs, 2 hits against Max Scherzer. That's it. And Alex Avila leads it off. It'll be Avila, Inge, and then Austin Jackson. First pitch from Garcia is in for a strike. Freddie has given up a 2-run shot in this game. He's given up an RBI single, RBI double as well. Maglio with the homer, Cabrera and Peralta also with runs driven in. 0-2 on Avila. Alex a strikeout back in the second. 0-for-1. Freddie Garcia, as Rod mentioned earlier, has faced the Tigers a ton. Well, he has beaten them 18 times in his career, which is the most among actives. A very good list there. The guys that have been around a long time: Wakefield and Burley and CC. Garcia has also been a very good postseason pitcher, and that's obviously something the Yankees are hoping to accomplish this year. He's 6-2 lifetime in the postseason. And it gets back to, I guess, what you were talking about. He has the perfect temperament, Rod, I think, to pitch in New York. He's one of those veteran guys that doesn't seem to get rattled a whole lot.
He can handle that pressure. He's got ice water in his veins. He has handled the pressure as well for a number of years in New York.
Here are the postseason numbers for Mr. Garcia. 3.11 ERA as well in postseason play. They had Colon here pitching on Monday night, Garcia here tonight, so they have dipped back into the time machine, so to speak. And a couple of guys that have had a lot of success previously in their career. There's a drive, right field, hit well. Swisher on the run, won't get it. Up against the wall in right center. Avila hits the bag at second, and he'll stop there with a double.
I was having a conversation with Avila yesterday, and we were talking about Cabrera and the fact that he had a chance to take batting practice with Cabrera about 4 or 5 times a week in Florida. And he said the biggest 2 things he learned was confidence and patience. He was patient in that at bat. Even though he fell behind with 2 strikes, he waited for something up, and he punished it for his 7th double of the year.
He has been an extra base factory to go with his 5 home runs. Avila has given the Tigers another chance to get a run in here.
There's something to be said about talking to someone like Cabrera. A lot of people think he's just all that talented, and yes, he is. But he's a very smart hitter, too, and he taught Alex Avila a few things this offseason.
Inge trying to advance the runner here.
It's not that you don't respect your hitting coaches or your pitching coaches, but it's something when you can get it from your peers.
Well, for Avila, the tremendous 2011 continues, in part with some help from Cabrera. Here's the 1-0. Make that 8 Tigers hits at this point. Maglio had the biggest one so far, a 2-run shot back in the 3rd. And the 1-1. 1-2 on Brandon Inge.
It's a nice job there by Inge, trying to give himself up for the good of the team with the runner on second and nobody out. He's trying to hit something to the right side of the infield on the ground. However, you've got 2 Gold Glovers on that side of the infield in Cano and Teixeira. If he hits it hard at either one of them, they may try to get Avila at third base.
Instead, he pulls it down the line and left, way back. That ball is hooking, and that ball is foul. He almost hit it out. Right down the line and left. 1-2. Garcia breathing a sigh of relief. Did he check it? Yes. Oh, going to third base, Avila. He's going to be out. Alex is thrown out by Cervelli.
Well, you like the aggressiveness of Avila here. It just made the wrong decision.
Huge out for Garcia. The bases are empty now. And a swing and a miss. Inge goes down on strikes, and very quickly there are 2 outs now with the bases empty. Well, Wednesday mornings, it's the Dan Patrick Show with 3 hours of exclusive guests, breaking sports news, and unparalleled insider access. Tomorrow's scheduled guests include former NHL star Jeremy Roenick. The Dan Patrick Show tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit. Here's Austin Jackson. Garcia floats one in for a strike, 0-1. Austin in the game, a fly ball and a force out to end an inning. He is 0 for 2 and now 2 for 11 in this series against the Yanks. Oh, and 2. Avila started the inning with a double, but tried to advance on a ball in the dirt and was thrown out at third base. Swing and a miss. Jackson goes down, and Garcia picks up another strikeout, his 4th of this game. So we play 4 complete here at the ballpark as we head to the 5th. It's 4-0 Detroit. Taste and nutrition from our family to yours. Back here in downtown Detroit, beautiful view of the ballpark. Comerica Park, the site tonight for the 3rd game in this 4-game series. It's the Tigers on top of the Yankees 4-0. And for the Yankees, Swisher, Posada, and Gardner. First pitch from Max is a little bit outside, 1-0. Swisher in the ball game is 0 for 1. Way inside, and And Swisher buckles out of the way. Now it's 3-0.
That fastball has some hair on it. Oh, my goodness.
There's a strike. Scherz has been as high as, what, 97 today?
Yes, he has.
Swisher struck out against him his first time up. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 94, and he threw it by.
You can't take a big swing against a guy that has a mid-90s fastball. You got to be shorter and you got to be quicker if you're going to make contact. Scherzer's got that look in his eye today. You can tell when the pitcher's feeling real good out there. You can look in his eyes and tell when a guy's going to try to overpower you. He's got that look.
I think Scherzer feels he let one get away in Cleveland in his last start after pitching so well until late in that game. Indians sweeping the Tigers in that series. There's a 3-2 again, and he lost him, ball 4. That's the first walk of the game.
Hey, fans, after the game, check out Tigers Live. You'll hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and you'll hear from the players as well. Mario and I will also be a part of the Tigers Live post-game show immediately after the game here at the ballpark on Fox Sports Detroit Plus.
Which I must admit is probably the best part of the post-game show, don't you?
Well, yeah, I think so, too.
And we're being modest about that as well.
They would agree.
Here's Posada. Ball outside, 1-0. Jorge with a pop-up back in the second.
Jorge does not run well. Always a double play candidate when he hits it on the ground, whether it's hit hard or not.
Drives this one to center field, right at Jackson. One gone.
Jorge's had some good swings in this series. He must be starting to figure out a few things about being a designated hitter full time.
Well, he came in batting .167, trying to bust out of an early season slump, although he's hit 6 homers.
Got power, but he's had some good swings in this series.
Here comes Brett Gardner. Gardner popped up to the catcher his first time, 0 for 1. I wonder how many times this year Brett Gardner has swung at the first pitch in an at-bat. I bet not very often.
No, he doesn't.
Averages about 4.5 pitches per plate appearance.
Very patient. That's why a lot of the Tigers, when they go up against Gardner, they try to throw that first pitch right down the middle. 9 out of 10 times he's taken it.
Here's the 1-0. Looped foul back out of play. Our crack statistical crew in the truck is looking that up as we speak.
And the only other guy that I could think of in the American League that takes as much, at least on the first pitch, as Gardner does is that guy in Minnesota, Joe Mauer, who they might get back soon off the disabled list.
They need him badly.
Tomey's on the DL now in Minnesota. They've had a rough go.
Here's the 1-1. We are told that Gardner swings on the first pitch 9% of the time.
Wow.
So doesn't that mean he just laid in there? We get ahead with strike 1?
That's what they try to do.
2 balls, 1 strike. That's back out of play. 2-2 on Gardner, the speedy outfielder. Gardner stole 47 last year, 3rd highest total in the American League. Scherzer, meanwhile, hasn't pitched from the stretch too often tonight. And he got him, strike 3. Gardner took 1 too many that time. 6 strikeouts for Max. Looked pretty good. That'll bring up Cervelli with 2 outs. Scherzer has given up just 2 hits, a single to Derek Jeter, a double to Mark Teixeira. And a walk, the only other base runner he has allowed. That walk right now still at first base, Swisher. Cervelli is 0 for 1. Cervelli last year hit .271 in a backup role. Played in 93 games.
And Maxwell's been filling up that strike zone today. 70 total pitches, 43 strikes. Well located strikes.
Good block by Avila, holding the runner at first base.
Told you earlier that he has a different breaking ball. That breaking ball, that slider, only 81 miles an hour. And at the beginning of this year, he was throwing his slider at about 84, 85 miles an hour, but he felt like he wanted more break and he wanted to decrease the velocity more than 10 miles an hour from his fastball.
Pulled foul.
He broke his bat on that. At least it sounded like it.
Sure did, but it doesn't look like he wants a new one.
Once he checks it, he will. A little hairline fracture, maybe. No batting gloves for Cervelli. We were talking about guys that didn't use batting gloves last night, I believe that was.
It was. Posada, we were talking about him. Cervelli.
Some guys just like the feel of the bat with their bare hands.
They want the appeal on this one. Not going to get it, though. Home plate umpire Bill Welke said he didn't go. 2-2. Tigers lead 4-0. They got 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth. And Scherzer, to this point, has done the rest. Swing and a miss. Cervelli is down, and Scherzer has his 7th strikeout, tying his season high.
Okay, Maxwell.
Watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Losses.
He's got to be up there too for that, I'm thinking.
You would think. Is he at the top of the list? We'll find out in a little bit. Here come the Tigers now. It'll be Sizemore in the 5th inning. Sizemore, Bosch, and Cabrera 2-3-4 against Garcia. And it's driven to left field and a base hit right in front of Gardner. Sizemore has his first hit tonight.
He had 3 last night, picking up right where he left off in Toledo, playing for the Mud Hens. Fastball right down the middle and a real short. Nice quick stroke by Sizemore. He looks like a different player right now. I know it's only a game and a half, but he looks like a different guy.
Well, I think he got off to a slow start last year because of the broken ankle he suffered last offseason, and he never really, I think, got his, no pun intended, footing on the season last year.
The thing I appreciated about him, though, last year, he never used that as an excuse. Never used that as an excuse.
Here's Bosch. I remember asking Sizemore at least 3 or 4 times throughout the course of the year last year, how's the ankle? Is it bothering you? And he said, no, I'm going out there and playing. It is what it is. And, you know, let's strap it on. Let's go.
I think the Tigers realized, though, after that first month he wasn't healthy, and that's when they sent him down to the minor leagues. He came back up later in the year, but he wasn't healthy at the beginning of the season.
Bosch has himself 2 hits tonight. Here's the 1-0. Tigers, by the way, as a team now have 9 hits against Garcia.
The way Brendan Bosch is swinging the bat tonight, if Garcia decides to challenge him with a 2-0 fastball at 90 miles an hour, he might hit his 2nd home run of the year.
Bosch's only home run came against the Yankees opening weekend. See what he gets on 2-0. It's a strike on the outer edge, breaking ball, 2-1.
It's a good pitch by Freddie. But if you're Bosch, you still have to be looking for your fastball. You're still in a favorable fastball count, regardless of getting that breaking ball there on a 2-0 pitch.
Rolled foul, first base side. Cleveland had some interesting comments about Bosch before the game today. They were talking about how, to a man, the entire coaching staff felt that in the first half of this season, in the month of April and into May, that Bosch looked better than he did even at his hottest point last year.
Really?
Which is saying something. But and I guess the point was that they felt that he was a much more disciplined hitter, much more patient at the plate, was laying off tough pitches a whole lot more. And so they're very pleased with the way that he has progressed. That's inside 3-2.
He turned the page on that second half of the season last year. Now, there's no doubt about that. And when he got to spring training this year, he was in a really good frame of mind and ready to get it done. I guess you can get in a pretty good frame of mind, though, when you spend your offseason in Santa Barbara on the beach.
There are worse places to be. That's a long list of worst places. 3-2. Sizemore running. Swing and a miss. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. Bosch is out. Sizemore has a steal.
Good jump by Sizemore. Really good jump. And not a bad throw by Cervelli, but because of the jump that Sizemore got and a breaking ball to boot. And really no chance at throwing him out, but Sizemore almost overslid the bag.
Jeter was hanging out just in case he did, but he wouldn't. Here's Cabrera being walked intentionally now.
Well, here we go.
We figured it would be the case even with Martinez behind him. And the intentional walks just keep on coming. 3 missing outside. So it'll be up to Martinez here. That is the 9th intentional walk for Cabrera, and he leads the league.
Hey fans, don't miss your last chance to see the Yankees tomorrow. It's their only visit here at Comerica Park. Get tickets for tomorrow's game, a 105 game, by calling 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
That's it, huh? The only visit to Detroit by the Yankees. Tomorrow's your last chance. So here's Martinez with 1 out. Victor 1 for 2, singled, scored a run in the 2nd inning in his first at bat off the disabled list. Ball 1. Tigers 4 runs, 9 hits. Yankees no runs, 2 hits. Yankees have been stymied tonight by Max Scherzer. High fly ball left field, playable for Brett Gardner. And the runners hold. 2 outs for the Tigers. We'll bring up Maglio. Two more hits tonight for Maglio. That average creeping up toward 200.
He got a fork ball in the 3rd inning with 1 on and drilled it to left field. And that's a good sign to see Maglio pull the baseball with that much authority.
2 on, 2 out here. Sends a high fly ball. Left side, foul ground. A-Rod can't see it, but Gardner can and makes the play in foul territory. Tigers threaten, do not score. 5 in the books here at Comerica Park. Who has the most career losses against the Tigers? Well, the answer would be CC Sabathia. How about that?
They tacked one on him last night.
They did indeed. 12 losses, and here's that list. Jose Contreras and Tim Wakefield have each lost 10 times against the Tigers, but CC leads that list. Of course, he faced him a lot when he pitched in Cleveland in the same division.
See, the Tigers always had good right-handed dominant lineups. I mean, there was a time when they were running, and guys were doing a good job. Monroe and Tim, Sheffield, Pudge, and Maglio. Carlos Guillen was hitting right-handed. Polanco. Tigers had some good right-handed hitters.
Some big names. Scherzer facing Jeter, the top of the lineup here in the 6th inning. 4-0 Detroit. Jeter looks at a strike. 0-2. Derek is 1 for 2 in this game, a single and a strikeout. Meanwhile, Scherzer has struck out 7, and he's done that now in 5 consecutive starts. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to second base. Sizemore. Jeter is out. He's 1 for 3 tonight. 1 gone. He's going to bring up Granderson. Well, I'm not sure Scherzer has pitched a whole lot better in any one of his starts than he is tonight.
I was thinking about that last half inning. This is about the best that we've seen, Max, including last year.
Here's Grandy. Ball 1.
Pitch count not in bad shape. 78 thrown so far in this game, especially against the Yankees, a team that likes to wear you down.
True. The 1-0. Granderson 0 for 2 in this game. He is 0 for 9 in his return to Detroit. First series back in the Yankees uniform. He was hurt last year when the Yankees came to town. There's the ball outside, 2-1.
Saw Curtis's parents before the game, and I saw him a couple of days ago as well. Had a chance to talk to them.
The nicest people you will meet.
They came to a lot of Tigers games.
Right back up the middle, and Peralta gets to it, but he'll have no play. Infield hit for Curtis Granderson. Johnny had no shot at throwing him out, even if he kept his balance.
Now Curtis runs too well.
Just the 3rd hit of the game for the Yankees tonight. Here's Teixeira. He had a double back in the 4th.
You have to keep him in the ballpark. He has 4 home runs already this year against Tigers pitching. 4 of his 8.
We were talking about this earlier. Last April, he hit just 136, a notoriously slow starter, but for whatever reason, this year was much different. His April finished with 16 RBIs and 6 homers. Fouls that one back out of play. And you know, by the time the season is done, he's going to give you about 35, maybe more.
100 steaks too.
Easily. That's just who he is.
That would be RBIs for you new listeners out there. Steaks, ribbies, RBIs, ribeyes.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Scherzer with yet another strikeout. 8. Season high.
That change piece is lethal tonight. Real good arm speed. And look at the fading action out of the strike zone.
Boy, is that nice.
68% with the fastballs today for Scherzer. 32% off speed pitches. He's kept them off balance. Pretty good.
Here's A-Rod. He's 0 for 2. Max gave up a single in the 1st, a double in the 4th, and a single here in the 6th. The Yankees have not had very many opportunities. It is tough to get through this lineup a few times and absolutely shut them down, but Scherzer has done just that. Gone through them a couple of times now. Driven in the air to center field. A lot of room out there for Austin Jackson, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit. Bottom of the sixth coming up.
For the Coors Light Freeze Cam, Curtis Granderson trying to bunt for a base hit a couple of innings ago, but quick like a cat was Max off the mound, cutting in front of Brandon Inge to make that play. Coors Light Freeze Cam is always brought to you by your Cross Brew Coors Light. Max doing it all today.
He sure is. Tigers have helped him out, though, with a little bit of offense. 4 runs on 9 hits. Freddie Garcia back to the hill. Facing the bottom 3 in the Detroit lineup, 7, 8, 9, Peralta, Avila, Inge. Garcia has not given up a run since allowing 3 in the 3rd, the key blow in that inning, a 2-run shot by Ordonez. Peralta takes ball 1. Johnny had a single to drive in a run in the 2nd. The 1-0 is popped up. Who wants it? Teixeira calling off Garcia. Johnny now 1 for 3. 1 gone here in the 6th. That'll bring up Avila. It's the 4th straight game now that Garcia has gone at least 5 innings. With the 9 hits tonight, the most that he has allowed in any start.
He was a nice sign by Brian Cashman, the general manager of the Yankees. He didn't get Cliff Lee. Andy Pettit decided to retire, so he had to scramble for some pitching this offseason. Ended up with Bartolo Colon and Freddie Garcia, a couple of veterans that have pitched well for them so far.
Avila hits one right back up the middle into center.
He's locked in right now.
2nd hit tonight for Alex.
Some kind of locked in is Avila.
Making an even 10 hits now for Detroit. Before the season started, they were talking about how the Yankees had signed those 2 guys, Colon and Garcia, and almost talk shows were making fun of the Yankees for signing those guys.
Yes, they were. They were talking about Brian Cashman having the worst offseason in his general manager's career in New York.
Meanwhile, we saw Colon still has plenty left. Saw that on Monday night. Here's Bartolo, former Cy Young winner. Runner goes, swing and a miss. A double pump throw, no shot, and Garcia was almost hit by that throw. Freddie trying to get out of the way, and a double clutch by Cervelli.
Cervelli didn't have a good handle on that ball. And take a look at the look that Freddie gave him after almost being hit. Hey, wait a minute, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, it's not like Cervelli meant to do it. Freddie's thinking, what in the world? So give Avila a stolen base. Now let's see if Inge can drive him home. Fouled it off. Brandon 0 for 2, fly ball, strikeout. Avila, by the way, will not play tomorrow. Jim Leland said he is definitely due for a day off. Alex has gone out there day after day since Martinez went on the DL. And the 0-2. He couldn't hold up. Inge is out of there on strikes. Six strikeouts for Garcia. Going to bring up Austin Jackson.
First couple of pitchers of this series gave Austin quite a few fastballs. Today, however, Garcia has thrown him an assortment of different breaking balls. And he starts him off with another one.
Freddie has given up 10 hits. The Yankees have only 3 against Scherzer. Breaking ball. This one nubbed off the end of the bat, and the count now 1-1 on Austin. Jackson in the series is 2 for 12. That'll get back out of play at 1-2. We got a crowd here tonight. The total attendance in this one, 22,569 for game 3 in the series. And as we told you a little bit earlier, tomorrow is your final opportunity to watch the Yankees here in Detroit.
Here's where Garcia likes to try to sneak that fastball by you. And when he's giving you lots of breaking balls, 2 strikes, you know, the hitter's waiting back a little bit longer.
Cervelli blocks another one. And it's 2-2. Got him, strike 3. Jackson took it, looking. 7 strikeouts now for Freddie Garcia. 6 innings in the books here at the ballpark. Tigers still lead the Yankees 4-0. price, period. Bell Tire. Back here in the Motor City, nighttime is settled in now. The Tigers on top 4-0 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Chris Wasilewski is our producer tonight in the Iceman. Mark Isofano is our director. Beautiful night here at the ballpark. So far so good in terms of the score. Scherzer back to the hill, and he delivers strike one to Robinson Cano. Cano, Swisher, and Posada. Ground ball right side. Sizemore ranging left. One out.
We told you earlier that Scherzer has that explosive fastball here tonight. He's touched 97 with that heater. He's gone as low as 79 with his changeup, courtesy of Comcast.
Here is Nick Swisher. Walking a strikeout tonight for Swisher. Ball one on Nick, who plays the game extremely hard. And earlier this year, he was involved in a play against the Minnesota Twins that bothered him a little bit as he drives one in the air toward left field. Bosch will get there, though, for the out or 2 out. Earlier this season, Swisher was trying to break up a double play at second base, and Yoshi Nishioka, who was the Japanese player in his first year with the Twins, was covering at second base. Swisher slid into him and broke his leg.
Nishioka didn't try to get out of the way. He just stood there.
And Swisher came in as hard as he would normally, but he felt really bad afterwards. He went to the Twins dugout, or locker room, I should say, to see how Nishioka was doing, but he felt extremely bad about that.
Nishioka also a shortstop in Japan, so he was making the transition to the other side of second base.
Posada looks at a strike. Jorge is 0 for 2. Pop up in a fly ball. Not a whole lot cooking tonight so far for the Yankees. Scherzer has been in command. And he throws another strike. It's 0 2.
Scherzer really hasn't been all that efficient with first pitch strikes today. He's about 50-50. But it really hasn't mattered.
No, the overall ratio is not all that bad. And he has recorded 8 strikeouts, a season high. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Posada. Joe Girardi's club won the first game. Tigers came back with a win in game 2. They lead here in game 3. Swing and a miss. How about Scherzer? 9 strikeouts, a 1-2-3 7th inning. And we go to stretch here at the ballpark for the Tigers in command tonight. for you folks out there. We're at this game right here. It was the first game ever at Comerica Park. Seattle was in town April 11th of 2000. Tigers beat the M's 5-2, and Freddie Garcia started that game for Seattle and took the loss. These days he's in Yankee colors. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning with the Tigers up 4-0.
Looked like it was cold that night.
Oh, yes, it was. Oh, it was cold.
Looked like it was cold.
Had it not been opening day, they may not have played. There's a bouncing ball to short. Jeter will throw out Sizemore, one gone. 1 up, 1 away. That'll bring up Brendan Bosch. You know it's cold when the players are wearing those ski mask type things. Cover the ears, cover the neck. Not good baseball weather. Bosch, 2 out of 3, couple of singles and a run scored. And batting .311. Ball 1 to Brennan. He's ahead in the count now. 2 balls, no strikes. The second baseman, Cano. And Bosch now 2 out of 4, 2 gone here in the 7th. Freddie Garcia came into this inning having thrown 94 pitches. There is activity in their bullpen. Buddy Carlisle warming up. Here comes Cabrera. Miguel walked intentionally back in the 5th. Also has an RBI double in this game. Blasted one down the third base line, knocking in a run. On the outer edge, strike 1.
Cabrera received his 9th intentional base on balls his last time up today, and partner at the pace he's going right now, he's going to shatter that 33 there by Olerud and Teddy Ballgame.
33 for Olerud, 33 for Williams.
That's amazing in the American League. That's the most a guy has ever been intentionally walked. I think Bonds might have been walked about 60, 70 times intentionally back when he's doing his damage in the National League.
Swing and a miss. And Cabrera goes down. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th for Freddie Garcia. He has 8 strikeouts for the Yankees.
For your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry, get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit tigers.com for more details.
Max Scherzer back to the mound. As we go to the 8th inning, Casper Wells has taken over in right field. Maglio is out of the game. And the Tigers are leading this one by a score of 4-0. Brett Gardner leads it off, then Francisco Cervelli, and then Derek Jeter. Scherzer 95 pitches through 7 frames. Max's longest outing this year was 8 innings 2 starts ago against the White Sox. 8 scoreless in that game. Gardner trying to get on here. His team down by 4 runs. Ahead of the count 3-1. Three and 2 on Gardner. Ball 4.
Pretty close pitch.
The second walk for Max. He walked Swisher to lead off the 5th, but nothing came to that. This makes it 6 straight starts now that Scherzer has gone over 100 pitches.
Jim says he's one of my horses. I'm going to leave them out there every single night as long as they allow me to.
Cervelli takes a strike.
He and Verlander are a couple of guys that can really give your bullpen a rest. Tigers bullpen coming into this series was a little banged up because they were used quite a bit in Cleveland, but with a couple of really good starts, that bullpen's kind of gotten itself back together again.
Albuquerque warming up right now.
What was it that Jim told us today in a perfect world, how he would like to set up his bullpen? He said he'd like to use Villarreal and who else early? Villarreal and somebody else early. Schlereth early.
Schlereth, yes.
Albuquerque, Perry, Benoit, Valverde late. Kind of shaping up that way for him tonight.
In the perfect world. And of course, in the perfect world as well, Benoit, look out there, shattered bat, and it just out of the reach of Scott Sizemore, so Gardner has to scamper to second base. Fourth hit of the game for the Yankees. They have 2 on now. Here comes Rick Knapp.
Well, Rick Knapp just going to take the temperature of Scherzer to see how he's feeling, because they've got some big boys coming to the dish in this inning with traffic on the base paths.
This will be the roughest stretch here for Scherzer now. Roughest or biggest hole that he's had to pitch out of.
Also the 4th time that some of these Yankee hitters have seen Scherzer tonight.
Jim Leyland running through the signs here. Avila will relay them on the infield. And it's the top of the order now, Derek Jeter. He's 1 for 3 with a base hit. See if Scherzer can get the ground ball here. It would be mighty big. Instead, he hits it in the air to right. Not deep. Wells sizing it up, and the runners have to hold. Jeter retired. And rather quickly, as a matter of fact. One gone. He's going to bring up Granderson. Curtis had a single in his last at bat, 1 for 3 in this game. Tigers got 4 early runs in this one, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, have not scored since. Scherzer, meanwhile, has got the Yankees off the board, period, to this point. Now the 1-1. 1-2 on Granderson. Series finale coming up tomorrow. Final meeting of the season in this ballpark between these two teams, Porcello and A.J. Burnett. Day game here to wrap up the series. Then it's on to Toronto. Max ready with the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to second base. He'll flip to second one. Relay and double play.
What a nice firm feed by Sizemore.
A 4-6-3 twin killing gets Scherzer out of the inning.
And then he kind of follows his throw to Johnny Peralta, and he needed to give Peralta a very firm throw with Granderson running down that line because they don't get him if he doesn't. Take a look at our Comerica Bank game summary. Magglio Ordonez 2 for 3 in this game, his first home run since July of last year. Cabrera, well, he just continues to get it done. 5 for 9, a double, 3 ribbies in the series, and Max Scherzer has been sensational in the game tonight.
Meanwhile, Eduardo Nunez is on to play shortstop. Now Jeter is out of the game. So the Tigers trying to add to their 4-0 lead here. 4 runs, 10 hits tonight for the Tigers in this one, and a breaking ball drops in against Victor Martinez. Casper Wells to follow, and then Johnny Peralta. The 0-1. Grounded foul, no balls, 2 strikes. One of the big stories here tonight, the Yankees with men in scoring position actually in this series are 3 for 21. They scored just 2 runs last night. Of course, they had to get 2 in the 9th inning in the Monday night game to win it. They've been shut out so far in this one. Here is Garcia's 0-2. 1-2 on Martinez. Victor 1 for 3, singled, and a run scored. Scherzer has allowed just 4 hits. Garcia, meanwhile, has sidestepped 10 hits in this game. The Tigers got to him early, but haven't scored since the 3rd tonight. But a 10-hit game for the Detroit offense. 1-2 on Victor Martinez. His first game off the disabled list. Had a base hit, scored a run in his first AB. And he pulls this one foul. Here's the 3-2. This will be the 8th pitch coming up in this at bat to Victor Martinez. Tigers Live coming up immediately following the game. Hopefully happy totals to be talking about tonight. The Tigers trying to make it 2 straight against the Yanks. So Martinez on base for the 2nd time, leadoff walk. And let's see if that's it for Garcia. Looks like Freddie's going to give up the baseball. And the Yankees will be going to the bullpen. Joe Girardi says thank you very much. Garcia with a yeoman's effort tonight, 112 pitches worth. They go to the bullpen. Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back. Garcia is done for the evening. He will give way to Buddy Carlisle.
And Carlisle has not given up a run, but he's only been in 4 games this year for Joe Girardi. Opponents hitting just 100 against Carlisle in the 3+ innings he's pitched so far.
Garcia is still responsible for the man at first base. He gave up 10 hits but struck out 8 in this game through 112 pitches, which was a season high. And his offense just could not support him tonight, and as a result the Tigers have a 4-0 lead. Ryan Rayburn is the pinch runner at first base, so Martinez done for the night. And Buddy Carlisle, born in Omaha, Nebraska, facing Casper Wells. The first at bat for Casper came on as a defensive replacement. Right down the middle, strike 1 on Casper.
Carlisle, a little bit of a short armor, standing 6'3", 210 pounds.
Rayburn chased back. Carlisle, a non-roster invitee this year for the Yankees, making the bullpen. Another throw, and that one was closer. Carlisle's given first name is Earl. He goes by Buddy. What? What are you laughing at?
I might go by Buddy too.
You said it, not me. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wells, meanwhile, going down to third now, and he'll have a little chat with Gene Lamont. Ten Tigers hits in this game, only 4 for the vaunted Yankees offense. Derek Jeter has left the game. We haven't received any word on any possible injury for the future Hall of Famer. There's a popped up bunt, and Cervelli can't get there. 1-2. Second time we see Casper try and lay down a bunt in this series. He was unsuccessful his last time as well. So now behind in the count, 1-2. The bunt's more than likely not on here. And another throw, and back in there is Rayburn. Leadoff walk to Martinez. That was it for Freddie Garcia, and Rayburn has come on a pinch run. Tigers would love to get that 5th run in before we get to the 9th.
And get out of grand slam distance.
On the outside corner. Strike 3 called on Wells. It's 9 strikeouts for Yankee pitching tonight.
Hey, Tigers fans who are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces at home and abroad can receive a free DVD of this season's home opener telecast against the Royals. It's a project titled Operation Opening Day, now in its 3rd year. For details, visit tigers.com/Operation Opening Day.
Well, 1 out, and now the Tigers will send Johnny Peralta to the dish. And there's a strike called 0-1 on Peralta. Johnny, an RBI single back in the second. They've got the Tigers on the board. One of the 10 Tigers hits in this game. Broken bat into shallow right. It's going to be caught though by Swisher. 2 gone. How many broken bats have we had tonight?
Quite a few.
And one of them ended up in the crowd. Going to leave it up to Alex Avila when we get to the 9th inning. Teixeira, Rodriguez, and Cano. So 3 big heavyweight hitters coming up. Will they be facing Max Scherzer? That's the question.
3 All-Stars.
That bullpen's quiet.
Yeah, looks like it. That may be the answer to your question, or my question. Ball 1 to Avila. Single, double, and a steal for Alex tonight. And the 1-0 on the outside corner. 1-1 on Alex. Wasn't a fan of that call, apparently. A little silent protest as he steps out of the box. One and 2 on Avila. Tigers, after losing 7 straight, have a chance to beat the Yankees now in back-to-back games, and a chance, if they win here tonight, to win the series before they hit the road again. Yankees have played the majority of their games through the first month at home. They're just now getting into a good portion of their road schedule.
Rayburn not known for speed over at first base, but Carlisle has thrown over there a bunch in this half inning.
Well, how about a Wings update? The Red Wings have just scored in the second period at the Joe. 2-1 over the Sharks. It's game 3 in that series. Sharks have won the first 2. Wings need a win. Ball high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Patrick Eaves putting the Red Wings ahead. Game's come to a screeching halt here. And now time is called as Avila steps out. Carlisle taking too long, so Buddy's going to walk out behind the mound now. Two and 2 on Avila. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And with 2 outs, you know what that means. Rayburn will be on the run. Brandon waiting on deck. Tigers scored 1 in the second, 3 in the third. Maglio with a 2-run shot tonight. Cabrera RBI double. Peralta RBI single. "3-2" is fouled away. Rayburn retreats.
Avila's first time he hits 2 home runs back in May 5th of last year. Did it earlier this year. This is the first career last year.
Well, Avila hit a couple of home runs in the game against Bartolo Colon a couple of days ago, but the first time he did it in his career, he did it last year in Minnesota.
Target Field is not exactly a home run haven either. Swing and a miss, and Carlisle finally takes care of Avila to end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. On to the 9th we go. And Max Scherzer and the Tigers lead 4-0. Bank strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. So the Tigers bring a 4-0 lead into the 9th inning. Last call for the Yankees. And a couple of changes for Detroit. We have a new pitcher on now. It's Al Albuquerque.
Albuquerque has a couple of above-average major league pitches. He has a fastball that can get above 95 miles an hour, and he also has a really good slider, and he loves that slider.
New left fielder as well. That would be Don Kelly, which means Bosch is out of the game. So the outfield now reads Kelly, Jackson, Wells, left, center to right.
I didn't see Albuquerque throw one pitch in that half inning while we were thinking Scherzer might go back out for the 9th. He must have got really loose in the 8th.
I think he was. Well, he was up in the 8th, but yeah, well, I mean, we looked out there and nobody was warming up. He's ready to go though, and the first pitch missing to Mark Teixeira. Teixeira, A-Rod, Cano. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Filthy. Absolutely filthy. He has a legitimate slider.
He hit it. Literally the last thing he wanted to do, and that'll put the leadoff man on. And meanwhile, Avila got hit with that pitch as well.
Appeared to be a slider.
Well, if Albuquerque runs into too much more trouble, Papa Grande's starting to warm up. Meanwhile, Avila looks to be okay. As A-Rod stands in now. 4-0 Tigers. We're in the 9th. Ball 1. Alex Rodriguez 0 for 3. Just 2 for 12 in this series. Two and 0. There he is. Closer's warming up in case he's needed. A-Rod gets a breaking ball on 2-0 and it drops in for a strike. 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Three and 2. Checked it, but he went. Strike 3. A-Rod didn't like it. Face to face now with Bill Welke.
I think Bill Welke called that on the swing. He did go.
It's a big out. He'd fallen behind A-Rod 2-0. And then 3-1, and he strikes him out. That's 10 strikeouts for Tigers pitching.
Albuquerque showing a lot of confidence in that slider.
Here's Robinson Cano. 0 for 3, 0 for 7 in the series.
That is something Tigers pitching has been able to do up until this point. That's slow down the big boys in the New York Yankees batting order. Cano, A-Rod, Jeter, Curtis Granderson. Really, none of them have gotten loose in this series.
Teixeira really has been the only guy. He has 3 hits and he's walked 3 times, but that's not major damage. Although Teixeira did homer in the ballgame last night. Well, the only guy in their lineup that has done really anything. Posada had a big hit early in the series. 2-0 pitch. He's swinging away and he loops it foul back out of play. So now it's 2-1. And Robinson Cano. Series finale tomorrow here at Comerica Park at 1:05. Porcello facing A.J. Burnett. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Albuquerque strikes out Cano. Well, you said it was unhittable sometimes.
But look at it, though. I mean, it looks like a fastball coming out of his hand, and it really stays on a fastball plane all the way until it gets about 5 feet from home plate, and then it just disappears. You cannot pick up the spin on his breaking ball.
2 strikeouts for Albuquerque, 11 for the Tigers staff tonight. Runner going, and they let it go. There's strike 1 on Swisher. So Avila now will go switch the signs with Teixeira at second base.
And Albuquerque has 97 in his back pocket. That's what the reading was on that last fastball to Swisher.
It's a pretty deadly combination. That kind of slider with that kind of fastball. And another strike, 0-2. One strike away from taking game 3 in the series. Ooh, he stays alive barely. Swisher still kicking. Scherzer started this game, went 8 scoreless innings. Albuquerque trying to close it out. And the 0-2. Ground ball slowly towards second. Should do it. Sizemore throws him out. And the Tigers have won game 3, and they've made it 2 in a row against the Yankees.
Great win tonight. Max Scherzer was off the chain, and some timely hitting by some of the Tigers hitters. Real nice win.
Albuquerque closes it down. Scherzer does a good portion of the work tonight. Tigers score enough to win, and they beat the Yankees 4-0. We'll be back to Comerica Park with a whole lot more after this.